I feel bad. I feel bad for you, intelligent people like you and Rachel and Brian Williams and Nicole Wallace and Lawrence O'Donnell and Gene Robinson. You all have to sit there and talk about this guy as if he's a president.
He'll always be meathead. All right, so you have a choice. Do we talk about the State of the Union? Or do we talk about the memo? Or do we look at a video of adorable puppies going down a slide? I joke, because you're going to get all three. First, the speech. It had so many high notes, you'd need Mariah Carey to sing it. I don't know how he did that. Of course, others saw it differently, and by others, I mean crybaby chuckle buckets.
The raw meat was ugly, and then the appeals to fear-mongering.
He implied, and he did it deliberately, that Dreamers are gang members.
His racist and hate-filled words and policies and proposals are still being resisted in the Congress.
There was a lot of dark talk. There was a lot of manifestations of threat.
Somebody airlift a pallet of Depends. There's a lot of poop on those floors. Anyway, sour grapes is to be expected. Why would you praise your opponent after he wiped the mat with you? And that's the problem with team sport politics. Even when there's good news for the country, it's bad news for the party. And there's a lot of good news on jobs, ISIS, the economy, all good, but we could do better. But the Democrats remain sour. Schumer looks like he's the Penguin from Batman. He's trying to pass a softball-sized gallstone. And Pelosi looks like that gallstone is about to hit her in the Mercedes. And the rest of the Democrats, they all look like they shared the same hemorrhoid. So what's the problem? Well, first, that speech wasn't for them, it was for you. I thought it was too long, but for you, it's not long enough. 90 minutes of positivity about this great country after 8 years of moaning about America. This speech was a water cooler in the desert. So for Dems, your good news is their bad news, but also their bad news is your good news. So in the future, here's a handy measurement for success. I call it the Pelosi Scowlometer. Look at that. The more she frowns, the more you should smile. All right. Which leads me to the memo. The week was fraught with anticipation, as if the royal family was giving birth to a panda. The nation wanted answers. Their thirst wouldn't be quenched until they heard this command.
Release the memo.
Well, good work there, dubbing. Yes, the memo. Finally, it was released, and it became the Super Bowl for nerds. Now, if it's all true, the dossier was put together by Christopher Steele with funding from the DNC and Fusion GPS. Then they played it up to media outlets. Then the Justice Department asked for surveillance warrants. But according to the memo, the application didn't disclose the role of the DNC or Clinton campaign in funding the dossier. The memo also claims that former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe wouldn't have sought the warrant without this dossier. Now, maybe it's me, but it's got Clinton stink all over it. All roads lead back to the perv and the pantsuit. Sounds like a good TV series. I wonder if Trump thinks it's disgraceful.
I think it's terrible. You want to know the truth? I think it's a disgrace. What's going on in this country, I think it's a disgrace. The memo was sent to Congress. It was declassified. Congress will do whatever they're going to do. But I think it's a disgrace.
I think it's a disgrace. But he's right. The Dems wanted to nail Trump so badly, they were willing to use an unvetted, hyper-partisan dossier to do it. Using this dossier to get a warrant, that's like me using Monopoly money to buy a Porsche. Look, We spent the last year hearing about collusion between Trump and Russia, and all along the real collusion was committed by the perpetrators of that narrative, meaning the media, Democrats, and their government allies. This whole mess is brought to you by the same people, and that's not cool, right? Adorable puppies going down a slide?
Good puppies! Good job! Can you do it? Yay! Come on, puppy! Yay! Puppy, puppy!
I told you there would be puppies.
Period.
Yes! Let us welcome tonight's guest. He had no qualms defusing bombs tougher than senior year calculus. It's former U.S. Marines bomb technician, Staff Sergeant Joey Joe. And another hero. His jokes are drier than powdered milk. Writer and comedian David Angelo. And the real hero. If you can't handle her smirk, then you're probably a jerk. National Review reporter Kat Timpf. Finally, the Jolly Green Giant sends him hate mail. Former bodyguard, massive sidekick Tyrus. All right, Joey. You got the State of the Union, you got the memo. Take your pick and run with it.
Oh, let's do the State of the Union. What do you think?
Okay.
That was like forever ago, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Listen, I sat through two State of the Union addresses, 2011 and 2013. And so 2011, the Tea Party came to be, and we had all these freshman Republican congressmen. And you could see them. It'd be so funny because Obama was really good at saying things like, you shouldn't pay more taxes than you should, so let's pay our fair share.
Right.
And so you see Republican congressmen going, you know, but they were eager to clap. You know, they wanted to. They just needed Boehner to tell them when to do it.
Yes.
And so I guess the Democrats went into this one like with a game plan much easier. From the set, let's set this one out. Let's just sit there, you know, left hand, left knee, right knee, and leave it alone. So to see them sit there through some of the things that he pointed out, Trump wrote a speech that dared them not to celebrate this country, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, he set up the trap. He said, if you're not going to
That's it.
stand for this, he talks about the flag. He set up these little, like, minefields, and they just, well, that's a terrible metaphor
I
for
love
you.
it. I love it. Hey, look, I'm batting like 900 with mines, okay? I had one bad day.
You had one bad day,
One bad
Joey.
day.
One bad day.
I had a leg or two up on me.
Can't have one bad day. Terrible. All right, David, what about the memo?
Well, the memo was good, but we all kind of wanted more out of the memo, I feel like. It didn't give enough secrets.
Yeah.
I feel like they should just open it up. If you have TSA pre-check, they should let you in the vault for like an hour. Anything you get, like supermarket sweeps, you know, like any document.
That's a good idea.
But here's the thing that was in that the memo, I already knew. Let's show the tweet.
Yeah?
Can we have the tweet?
Yeah, here.
This is from March 2017.
This is you.
Yeah. I can't read it. It's too far away.
I'll read it for you. Possibility. Dems invented the Russian thing, fake server, etc., as a pretext for FISA, and the news has just been carrying water for them. Ooh.
The most trusted name in news.
Yes, yes, yes. You were like a psychic with really interesting glasses. All right. Speaking of interesting glasses, Kat, what would you like to talk about? Would you like to talk about the amazing speech that Trump gave or the groundbreaking, earth-shattering memo?
Oh, my God. Okay. I'll talk about the memo. I'm really, really glad the memo was released. I want to see all the things the FBI does not want me to see.
Right.
100%. But I think we need to take a look at how this was able to happen in the first place and look at reforming this entire area of government where we take the Fourth Amendment more seriously so it's not so easy to surveil American citizens.
You know, I will agree with you here. Because that's the thing that bothers me. Anybody could, like, create a questionable dossier about my life.
Yeah.
And it might not be questionable. Might not be questionable. Those 2 years. Well, anyway, Tyrus, thoughts on the memo?
Thoughts on your dossier, yeah. That's why there's no unicorns, kids.
It was a donkey dressed as a unicorn.
See? So, you know what? here was my frustration this week. I thought the State of the Union was very good. I thought it's always good to hear positive things about our country because we don't hear enough about them.
Yes.
But I was looking for one thing, and I thought maybe it was going to be infrastructure that was going to bring the sides together or start some kind of dialogue. Because after the State of the Union was over, those of us who love Trump still love Trump, and those of us who hate him and blame him for everything in the entire world is going wrong, they still hated him. And to tie it in with the memo, it's kind of the same thing.
Right.
If you don't like the Russian investigation, if you have issues with the left, you're going to support the memo.
Right.
And if if you love Trump, you're going to be that's what we needed. But my issue with that is just Page. That's the guy. Like, he's dang, every group has one, and we have him. And that dude just can't. And then when he tweets, I'm just like, this didn't mean. The only one I don't want to hear from more than Page is Cruz. Like, those are the two guys I just don't want to hear from. And I just keep waiting for something that's going to start bringing us together. And I just feel like the divisions lines keep drawn in the sand, and there's no middle ground. Like if you're going to, my book, I kept thinking about, I'm working on a book. It's like living in the Great Divide. Is it about mountains? No, it's about just walking through my neighborhood at the grocery market, because if I walk through Liberal Avenue, I get booed at, and when I walk by Conservative, I get cheered. It's just crazy how divided we are.
That's why you've just got to walk on the conservative side.
I'll go wherever I want.
Do you know what could unite us all? Do you know what united us all? Besides alcohol, Russians. Like, they played on America's key attribute, which is, it's not a key attribute, it's actually a consequence, the team sport politics of a binary system. They played both sides. They played the Democrats, they took money from the Democrats, they played with the Republicans, and to create disruption. It worked.
I think you just nailed it. And our arrogance is that we had to be in on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the ironic joke.
Exactly.
We weren't in on it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we got so much more to talk about privately as well. All right, what's up with Trump's border wall? See what I did there? Because I didn't.